the lights go out. The crowd erupts. And in that split second between glory and devastation, everything changed. What you're about to witness isn't just another wrestling injury, this is the moment that stopped the entire WWE universe dead in its tracks, brought tears to the eyes of the toughest warriors in the locker room, and left everyone asking the same question: will we ever see this superstar the same way again? Right now, before we dive into what happened that night, I need you to do something for me. If you've ever felt your heart drop watching someone you admire get hurt, if you've ever understood what it means to pour your soul into something you love, then this video is for you. Hit that subscribe button because SlamZone is the only place where we tell these stories the way they deserve to be told, with heart, with truth, and with respect for every single person who steps between those ropes. Ring that notification bell, because when something this massive happens in our world, you need to be the first to know. Now let's talk about the night that shook SmackDown to its core. The energy inside the arena is absolutely electric. You can feel it pulsing through every seat, every voice, every heartbeat in that building. This isn't just another Friday night, this is SmackDown, where careers are made and legends are born. The entrance music hits, and the crowd explodes as our superstar makes their way down that ramp. Look at the confidence, the swagger, the absolute certainty that tonight is going to be their night. They've trained for this. They've sacrificed for this. Every bruise, every early morning in the gym, every moment away from family, it's all been building to this very match. The opponent enters, and the tension somehow manages to climb even higher. These two athletes have history. They've traded words, traded blows, and tonight they're going to settle it once and for all in front of millions watching around the world. The referee calls for the bell, and just like that, we're underway. The opening exchange is absolutely breathtaking. Chain wrestling at its finest, reversal after reversal, each competitor trying to establish dominance, each one refusing to give an inch. You can see the strategy unfolding in real time. A collar and elbow tie-up transitions into a side headlock. A push off into the ropes, a shoulder block that barely moves either competitor. These are two warriors testing each other, measuring strength, calculating their next move like chess masters in a game where the stakes couldn't be higher. 3 minutes in, and the pace shifts dramatically. A sudden Irish whip sends our superstar crashing into the corner with bone-jarring impact. The crowd gasps as their opponent charges in with a devastating clothesline that nearly takes their head off. But weight ducked at the last possible second. The momentum carries the attacker chest first into the turnbuckle, and now we've got a shift in control. A quick roll up. The referee slides into position 1, 2, kick out with authority. The near fall sends electricity through the arena. Fans are on their feet, hands clutched to their heads, screaming encouragement to their favorite. This is what makes wrestling beautiful. This is where every moment matters, where a 3 count can come from anywhere, where dreams can be realized or shattered in the blink of an eye. 5 minutes deep now, and both competitors are showing signs of wear. Sweat glistens under those bright lights. Chests heave with exertion, but neither one is willing to slow down. A snap suplex gets a 2 count. A running knee strike staggers but doesn't stop. Back and forth they go, trading offense like heavyweight boxers in the championship rounds, each strike echoing through the arena like thunder. The crowd begins a dueling chant, split right down the middle. Half the arena is chanting for one superstar, the other half firing back just as loud for their opponent. This is the kind of atmosphere that wrestlers dream about, the kind of moment where you know you're part of something special, something that fans will remember and talk about for years to come. And then it happens. Our superstar sets up for what should be a routine move, something they've executed 1,000 times in their career, something that's as natural to them as breathing. They position their opponent, the crowd anticipates what's coming next, and they launch into the maneuver. But something goes wrong. Maybe it's a fraction of an inch off in the positioning. Maybe it's a split-second mistiming. In wrestling, that's all it takes. The landing is all wrong. Horrifyingly wrong. The sound, that awful, sickening sound that echoes through the arena and makes your stomach drop. Our superstar crumples to the mat in a way that's immediately, terribly different from anything choreographed. Their hand shoots to their leg, gripping it with an intensity that transcends performance. This isn't selling. This isn't storytelling. This is real pain, real fear flashing across their face as they realize something has gone catastrophically wrong. The opponent immediately breaks character, dropping to their knees beside their fallen rival. Watch their face, the concern is genuine, the fear palpable. In that instant, all the scripted animosity evaporates, replaced by the raw humanity of one athlete recognizing that another is truly hurt. They signal frantically to the referee, waving their arms in the universal gesture that something is seriously wrong. The referee's demeanor changes instantly. Years of training kick in as they throw up the X, the sign that no wrestler ever wants to see, the signal that tells everyone from the production truck to the locker room that this is a legitimate medical emergency. The match stops cold. The music cuts out. And in the sudden, awful silence, you can hear the injured superstar's labored breathing, the worried murmurs rippling through the confused crowd. The arena, just moments ago a deafening cauldron of excitement, falls into an eerie quiet. Fans cover their mouths in shock. Some are crying. Others simply stare in disbelief, unable to process what they've just witnessed. This is the moment when the carefully maintained illusion of professional wrestling crashes into the brutal reality of athletic competition. These performers are artists, yes, but they're also flesh and blood, putting their bodies on the line every single night. The medical team rushes down the ramp with practiced urgency, their equipment bags bouncing against their sides as they sprint to the ring. Referees form a protective barrier, giving the doctors space to work while keeping cameras at a respectful distance. You can see them checking vitals, asking questions, carefully examining the injury while our superstar fights back tears not from physical pain alone, but from the devastating knowledge that their carefully planned future might have just changed in an instant. Minutes feel like hours as the medical assessment continues. The crowd, unsure how to react, begins a supportive chant, the injured superstar's name echoing through the building like a prayer, like a collective wish for everything to somehow be okay. Fellow wrestlers appear at the top of the ramp, faces etched with concern, some with hands over their hearts, others visibly fighting emotion. This is their brother, their sister, their colleague lying injured in that ring. It could just as easily be them. Before we continue with what happened next, I want to take just a moment here. If this story is affecting you the way it's affecting me, if you understand that these aren't just characters but real people with real families waiting for them at home, then please hit that like button right now. Share this video with someone who loves wrestling, who understands the sacrifice these athletes make. Comment below and send your support, because I promise you, the wrestling community reads these messages, and they matter more than you could possibly know. We're all part of the SLAMZONE family, and when one of us hurts, we all hurt together. The stretcher arrives. For any wrestler, this is a nightmare scenario, being carried out of the ring you love on a board, unable to finish what you started, leaving your story incomplete. But there's no choice here. Safety comes first, always. The medical team carefully, methodically stabilizes the injury, communicating constantly to ensure no additional damage occurs during the extraction process. Our superstar, showing incredible courage despite obvious pain, even manages a weak thumbs up to the crowd as they're secured to the backboard. That small gesture of reassurance brings a standing ovation from the arena, not for a great move or a championship victory, but for pure, raw toughness in the face of devastating circumstance. As the superstar is wheeled up the ramp, their opponent stands in the ring, hands on their head, visibly distraught. They never wanted this. No competitor wants to be involved in a moment like this. The what-ifs start immediately. Could they have adjusted the move? Should they have called an audible? Wrestling is collaborative, and when something goes wrong, both performers feel the weight of it. Backstage, the reaction is immediate and visceral. Nick Aldis, SmackDown's general manager, appears on camera looking genuinely shaken. This isn't the polished, authoritative figure we usually see making matches and laying down the law. This is a man who's spent decades in the business, who knows exactly what that injured superstar is going through because he's been there himself. His voice carries weight when he addresses the situation, confirming that yes, this is serious, and yes, the superstar is receiving the best possible medical care. The health and safety of our superstars is and always will be our top priority, Aldis states, and you can hear the emotion creeping into his normally controlled delivery. What you witnessed tonight was not part of the show. Our medical team responded exactly as trained, and we're currently awaiting further evaluation. I want to thank our referee, the medical staff, and both competitors for their professionalism during an incredibly difficult situation. Our thoughts are with our injured superstar and their family. Within minutes, social media explodes. But this isn't the usual post-show chatter about who won or what's next in the storyline. This is genuine, heartfelt concern flooding in from every corner of the wrestling world. Current superstars, legends, fans, media, everyone united in hoping for the best possible outcome. Adam Pearce, Raw's general manager, immediately breaks brand division protocol to issue his own statement. In WWE's kayfabe world, Raw and SmackDown are separate entities, often portrayed as rivals. But Pearce's message makes something crystal clear: when it matters, when someone's health and career hang in the balance, there are no brands, no divisions, no scripted conflicts. There's just one WWE family. Brand loyalty means nothing compared to the well-being of our people, Pearce shares, his words carrying the wisdom of someone who's been both in the ring and in management. I've known this superstar for years. I've watched them grow, watched them overcome obstacles that would break most people. If anyone has the strength to come back from this, it's them. But right now, the only thing that matters is proper healing, proper recovery, with zero pressure and all the time they need. We'll be here when they're ready. That last part is crucial. In an industry notorious for its show-must-go-on mentality, where wrestlers have historically worked through injuries that should have sidelined them, having leadership explicitly say "take your time" represents a cultural shift. It acknowledges that long-term health matters more than next week's television, that a human being's quality of life outweighs ratings or pay-per-view plans. Then comes the message that truly captures the wrestling world's attention: Rhea Ripley's emotional tribute. Ripley, one of WWE's most dominant and respected competitors, someone who embodies toughness and intensity, shows her vulnerable side in a way that resonates across the entire fanbase. Her words aren't corporate or carefully PR managed, they're raw, honest, and heartbreaking. Watching this happen tonight broke my heart, Ripley writes, and you can practically hear the crack in her voice through the text. This warrior has given everything to this business, to the fans, to all of us. They've inspired so many people, including me. Wrestling is dangerous. We all know the risks every time we step through those ropes. But knowing the risks doesn't make it any easier when something like this happens to someone you care about. Sending all my love and strength. You're not alone in this fight. The response to Ripley's message is overwhelming. Thousands of comments pour in within minutes, fellow wrestlers adding their support, fans sharing their own stories of injury and recovery, messages of hope written in dozens of languages from around the world. The post goes viral, trending across multiple platforms, turning a tragic moment into a testament of community solidarity. Other superstars follow suit. Veterans share similar experiences from their careers, offering both empathy and hope based on their own comebacks. Current roster members post photos and memories with the injured superstar, celebrating who they are beyond the character they portray. Tag team partners express devastation. Rivals put aside scripted feuds to acknowledge the real person behind the gimmick. This incident forces a conversation that wrestling doesn't always want to have but desperately needs to: the reality of what these athletes sacrifice. We watch them fly through the air, crash through tables, take devastating moves week after week, and because they're so good at what they do, because the production is so polished, it's easy to forget the genuine danger involved. Professional wrestling exists in a unique space between sport and performance art. The outcomes are predetermined, yes, but the physicality is absolutely real. A suplex doesn't hurt less because you know it's coming. Launching yourself from the top rope doesn't become safe just because you've practiced it. Every match carries inherent risk, and even with all the training, all the safety protocols, all the experience in the world, accidents can still happen. The injured superstar has a family who watches them perform, who holds their breath during high-risk spots, who waits anxiously for that post-show call confirming they made it through another night safely. They have friends in the locker room who've become like siblings through shared struggles and victories. They have fans whose lives they've touched in ways they might never fully understand, kids who look up to them, adults who find inspiration in their story, people who've gotten through dark times by watching them overcome adversity. And now all of those people are united in concern, in hope, in the desperate wish for good news from the medical tests. WWE faces difficult decisions in the coming days. Storylines that were carefully planned might need to be rewritten. Championship pictures could shift dramatically. Opponents who were scheduled to face the injured superstar will need new programs. But the organization's leadership has been clear: the superstar's health comes before everything else. The show will adjust. Wrestling always does. As of this moment, we're still awaiting official word on the exact nature and severity of the injury. Early speculation, and I want to stress that this is speculation, not confirmed medical diagnosis, suggests the possibility of a significant leg injury that could require surgery and extensive rehabilitation. The specific timeline won't be known until all tests are complete and specialists have been consulted. What we do know is this: the superstar is in good hands. WWE's medical team is world-class, with access to top orthopedic specialists and rehabilitation facilities. If surgery is required, they'll get the best surgeons available. If the recovery requires months of physical therapy, they'll have expert guidance every step of the way. The resources are there. The support system is there. Now it's about time, patience, and the superstar's own incredible determination. The wrestling community has seen remarkable comebacks before. Stars who were told they'd never wrestle again but defied the odds through sheer will and relentless work. Edge returning from career-ending neck injuries. Daniel Bryan overcoming concussion issues that forced him into retirement. Seth Rollins coming back from a devastating knee injury stronger than ever. These stories give hope, proof that with proper care and time, recovery is possible. But every injury is different, every body responds differently, and the only certainty right now is uncertainty. That's the hardest part: the waiting, the not knowing, the space between catastrophe and clarity where anxiety fills every moment. As we wrap up this video, I want to leave you with this: wrestling isn't just about championships and main events and spectacular moments. It's about community. It's about how we support each other through the darkest times. Right now, one of our own is fighting through something incredibly difficult, and the best thing we can do is send positive energy, respect their privacy while they focus on recovery, and remember that behind every character we see on screen is a real human being with hopes, fears, and people who love them. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe to SlamZone. We're going to continue following this story respectfully and updating you as more information becomes available. Comment below with your messages of support. I know the wrestling community reads these, and your words have power. Share this video so more people understand what happened and can join in sending positive thoughts. This is bigger than wrestling. This is about humanity, about caring for someone who's given us countless hours of entertainment and inspiration. So whether you've been watching for decades or just discovered this incredible art form, you're part of this family now. And families show up when it matters most. stay strong, stay hopeful, and keep that injured superstar in your thoughts. This is SlamZone, and we'll get through this together. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully with much better news to share.